Okay, Islam, American Nation, and Family is about 3:15 p.m. I'm riding to Arrington-Bey. It's September the 10th, 2020. I'm right outside Burger King. I just got off work. It's holy day for us as Muslim. It's Friday, and I usually work from 11 to 3 on Fridays. It's been this way for about 5 years, and there was an accident right here. So I'm getting ready to head out. Like I was saying, I was constantly accidents on West Street. This is holy day for us. I don't know if anyone's gotten hurt. As Hebrew Muslims, this is holy day. In fact, so it looks like someone that speaks Spanish is involved in this accident. And I think the other part of the car accident is right here. Wendy's is right here. Monty still works across the street. And I was saying how one time, this one accident at Burger King. Okay, so this is right here in front of Burger King. I was getting off at about it happened about 3:05, and how one accident looked to be staged. I was getting the same thing happened. I got off work, and this time not the same thing, a little bit different. I was walking to this crosswalk because you have to walk to a crosswalk to get to the other side, and the person had slid down. Ooh, this is what I see. These cars look just like this at Burger King. Not Burger King, but across the street, sometimes from Burger King, or down the street on West Street, or on my path to work. This is what I have seen so many times on my path to work. It's like seeing the feathers on my path to work. So anyway, I was one day got off work, and I was waiting across the street like I'm doing now, and this pale-skinned lady actually stopped to let me cross, and she came to a complete stop. And as I was getting ready to cross the road, but I was about to, African American, this is description only, ran into the back of her. And thank you. And then right next to her on this lane, right next to her, undercover cop was right next to her and turned on his lights. Just so happened an undercover cop was next to her at the same time that a black male ran into her. It literally looked staged. Now I was like, what is the coincidence of that? And so the thing is, I stood right here. Okay, so the accident happened right there, like this, but that accident is a little bit further and looks like more in the parking lot of Burger King. But I stood right here approximately, and the police officer looked at me and said, he F-U-C-K-U, and that was like the odd thing about it. As I was getting out my tablet, I could tell it sort of started him. I can see slight irritation when I started to get my tablet out to record and videotape. And that's when he looked at me. He was in an undercover SUV black car, and said he F-U-C-K-U. So I can tell definitely it started him when I did this. And so one of the things, and it didn't look staged, because I mean, I was thinking to myself, I was like, now what is the coincidence that a pale-skinned lady comes to a complete stop? The black male ran into the back of her, and right next to her in this lane, in the lane next to her, there's an undercover police SUV, all black. So, and I don't believe in coincidence. And after seeing so many car accidents on my path to work, seeing the police helicopters, it looked like helicopters flying, people saying brother, seeing feathers on my path to work, and so it looks like, when you're dealing with citizens that could be mentally ill, that's a big thing. But if you're dealing with those that have the lawful means to carry a weapon, so that means they have the lawful means to carry a weapon, guns, and they've been trained for combat, whether they're in the Navy, the Army, the police, then that's an issue. Especially if there's possibly unlawful illegal activity going on, such as sex trafficking, drug dealing, money laundering, or other forms of illegal, unlawful things going on. And so that, if the police or the military have not been naturalized, these things could possibly happen more frequently than it would be if the police and the military have a firm and to uphold constitutional laws of this land. So they are less likely to be used by a foreign entity. A corporation, a bank, because they've been naturalized under an organic instrument. So anyway, I'm walking now. So I just got off work once again. I'm around the Arrington-Bey, and there was not police, but an accident. So far, I haven't seen any feathers. Imani Gray Bay and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, we still say we do not know anyone personally here in Annapolis. No one can say that. And as Moorish Americans, and just approximately 2 weeks ago, Imani accepted a ride from a coworker because he had to go to another store. He didn't have to, but he agreed to, and the person gave him a ride back to where we domicile. He told me that was, and he has been honest, that was the first time he's ever accepted a ride. And I was telling him not to do that anymore, unless it's a manager giving you a ride, because a manager is more responsible because they're more connected to the company, Wendy's. I told him, there's nothing against the person that gave you a ride, but if you are an employee or co-worker and you don't know that person, he doesn't know her, he just said, personally, he just said, yes, I'll accept the ride so he can get back from another store, because he usually works across the street, but he went to another store. And I'm not saying this is going on in her car. I'm not saying this. But if I gave him an example of how you could be charged for a crime that you didn't commit. If she has a gun in her car, it's not registered to her, or it was used in a criminal activity. If she has illegal drugs, or him, it could be a he, or whatever, and the police does a routine stop, and he is just accepting a ride to get back from a long day's work, he will be part of that charge, and he had nothing to do with it. So 2 weeks ago, he did accept the ride because he was coming from another store, and I told him not to do that again, and we agreed. I told him, but then I said, do you agree with what I'm saying? He said, yes. He said, I didn't think of that. Imani works doubles a lot. He works a lot of hours. Sometimes he's really tired. So even when you're tired, you have to always think lawfully and try to think of protection and protecting yourself. And not, once again, not accusing accusing the lady that gave him a ride. We're just thinking about the best way to always protect ourselves, especially when you're among those that could be a part of illegal or unlawful acts, Islam. So, and I've seen too much that was definitely too odd for me not to record and take precaution as much as possible lawfully in protecting ourselves. Islam. I'm Rhonda Arrington-Bey. Islam. It is September the 10th, 2021.